If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Then West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 crippin'. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to let me. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pull out a little.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Tonight it's our first Monday night game of the new season, and we've got a good one coming up between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. First of 2 here on a Monday night, the opener for these two teams as we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Quickly to the air is Wilson. And his first pass is incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. We can't see that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your right and and say, "Oh, guys, can I get a little help here?" And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Finds Dulcich out left side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They'll run here with a rookie 2nd-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight to the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. These fans here in Seattle getting the chance to see Russell Wilson play his first game for a franchise other than theirs. And Russell's 10 seasons in a Seahawk uniform. He went 104, 53-1 in the regular season. Threw for over 37,000 yards, almost 300 touchdowns. A Pro Bowler 9 of his 10 seasons with the Seahawks. And, of course, led them to victory over, ironically, the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48.
22 yards there, a first down.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significance?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
On second down, Williams. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
We're scoreless after 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line. He got 4 yards. It's now 4th down.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both of these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
A short kick taken at the 18.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, we've seen quarterbacks get away with throwing the ball on the run, no doubt. But this, Charles, I think you'd agree, not the best of throws.
And listen, you're not always going to have a clean pocket to step up with the proper mechanics and deliver the football. I mean, that's a given. But you also have to understand your limits and know what you can get away with and what you can't when you're trying to make a throw like that.
Now a man who moved up the depth chart with the retirement of Chris Carson. Here's Rashad Penny.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Smith's throw into the hands of Lockett. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And after the Russell Wilson trade, you have to ask, will Tyler Lockett be able to extend his streak of 1,000-yard seasons to 4 without the only quarterback he's ever played with in the NFL? But the way he plays, a very steady presence that catches everything in sight, I think he's got a good chance of extending that streak and becoming best friends with his new quarterback along the way. He certainly looked like it on that 1st down catch.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. 78 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. Touchdown! Kenneth Walker, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
On third down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Now it's Lockett. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Play action. It's Smith. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. So we reach halftime here in our first Monday Nighter of the season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Ready up! Head the streets! Head the streets!
Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Smith. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
So a good grab there. And here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Geno. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Bradley Chubb from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
99 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Now a run with Walker.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Hold it ready. 19 tight. 19 tight.
To throw is Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Smith. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Rolling to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. 30 yards.
Myers' kick is good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Wilson. Finding his big receiver Patrick over the middle.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
2nd and 10.
14.
On the counter, here's Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He'll get this one to Patrick. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try for the first with Walker.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The busy night continues for Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the
Better, petty don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been in prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, dip about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Boys make major moves, still the same ones that I came with. Up in a payment, told you we nothing to play with. Guess some things unchangeable. Me and my thirst insatiable. Till we all big time. Face on my rollie on big time. Facing my goals, that's a big climb. Still my flow is unshakable. Run it up, I cannot quit it. I need it, I ain't where I wanna be. I can admit it. Never submitting, I'm fighting my darkest of thoughts. I am a force. I harbor the light that's inside of my heart. I write in my art and give you my story. You the witness. I came on a mission to give you my pain and give you my glory. All this time, I'm on the grind. Oh, I'm shining. Nothing can stop me. All these years, blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm still here. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Nothing can stop me. I overcame all the odds. I ain't been playing it safe, nah. I was just giving my all. I'm taking it there. Hop in the Wraith and we lay in the stars. I made it happen, the boss, yeah.